Welcome. My name is Manuel Molaschi and I work at OpenMind in Italy. I'm going to present you some slides about a work we are making that integrates Flash front-end with Magnolia management system, content management system. And this morning Pascal said that he wanted to push even more on technology, but he wanted to discover a new business. And this presentation is some kind about this topic. Discover a new business in which use the Magnolia CMS. These are the main topics of my presentation. Firstly, a short introduction of OpenMind. Then the introduction on the project, an overview of the solution. Then we can analyze the results of the project and view a short demo. Who is OpenMind? OpenMind is one of the most active Italian company on open source projects, focused on J2E technologies. OpenMind work with Magnolia since its 2 version and contribute a lot to enhance Magnolia for the 2.1, for the version 3, and we still contribute a lot. Nowadays we are 4 committers in OpenMind, 4 committers of Magnolia. Last year, before the first Magnolia conference, we launched the OpenMind Lab initiative that to promote our open source projects, the OpenUtils project. In OpenUtils project is hat under which there are a lot of Magnolia-related projects. For example, the simple media module, the simple clash module, a new criteria API, the original Groovy module, the messaging module, stripes and struts integration module, and etc. And some statistics from Holo. On OpenUtils there are 12 active developers, and the effort is 29 person year, and we write more than 100,000 lines of code. Maybe some lines of code from other projects, but and we work with great players in the Italian market and maybe in the world market or European market. I think that you know some of these brands. Okay, let's talk about this project, the case study I'm going to present you. And the client for this project is the Piaggio Group, that is the largest European manufacturer of 2-wheel motor vehicles and one of the world's leaders in its sector. The group is also a major international player in the commercial vehicle market. There are very famous brands owned by Piaggio Group, for example, Aprilia, Vespa, or Moto Guzzi, or Piaggio itself. And for this project, we had a strong partner that is the Van Gogh Creative, a web agency emerging in Italy, with a strong experience in music, fashion, and automotive. They are very, very strong on Flash programming, because Flash can release all day creativity. And Piaggio wants to renew all their websites and to have a unique communication strategy for all the brands and markets. So they want also a partnership with a unique communication agency for the entire group. They want, other goals are there that they want to increase the brand positioning, mainly for Vespa and Moto Guzzi, and increase position on web search results. They want to increase their traffic on websites whilst reducing tech costs, And they want that the marketing division can manage their contents without relying on the IT division. And this project, born at the beginning of the current year, and they wanted to have all the website live for the end of the year. So the timetable is aggressive. And they want finally save money. Okay, this translates to some requirements. They want to use Flash to deliver a strong emotional experience and to make the users have attention on the emotion more than on technical stuff. They want to manage content by simple-to-use CMS, to have a centralized content management with preview environment, and have a high capacity and high availability system also on their cheap network and hardware infrastructure. Which is the business opportunity by our point of view? We can enter a new sector in the market where Flash solutions are attractive, and we want we think that we can reduce our cost of front-end delivery without programming HTML in templates and dealing with, for example, cross-browser compatibility. Flash is still the choice for the web in fashion, design, architecture, video games, movie, product presentation, and so on, and we want to be there too. We make a little discovery on web, and there are no enterprise-level CMS that can manage in a simple way HTML and Flash, or also simple Flash contents. So we realized that, and this is a first example that we can see live after. Okay, we have our beloved green bars on Flash. Okay, a brief overview of the solution from architectural point of view. We have two main blocks. One based on Magnolia and one based on Spring. Spring to integrate the Piaggio Group service, for example, for the dealer service or accessorize, or to integrate with their user DB. On top of the Spring integration layer, we have the Spring Embassy to expose XML service directly to Flash. Okay. On top of Magnolia and the standard modules of Magnolia, we build the Flash module that is a very simple solution. With basically some custom template renderer, a server-side support for SWF address that I can explain later, and the media module, okay, for serving digital assets. In front of all the solution, we realize the simple cache module. Why we didn't use the cache module of Magnolia? Because it's too heavy for from the point of view of memory of the server. The simple cache module is based on file system streaming, and is more light than the standard cache module. And we have a client-side architecture because we have in the browser, in our HTML page, we have a SWF movie that run, and is based on the framework realized by Van Gogh. And this framework is composed mainly by 4 components. 2 components, the content handler and the navigation handler, talks with the server side. Okay, and the SWF address integration and analytic integration talks with the JavaScript in the page. Okay. There is also an HTTP status handler to manage the status like not authorized, not found. Okay. What our Flash module does. It does this SWF address server-side support. What is SWF address? It is a library composed by two libraries, one for JavaScript and one for ActionScript, that allow to interact with the title bar of our window with the address bar, and have support for bookmarking, for history navigation, okay, and manage from the ActionScript side, manage the integration with the communication with the JavaScript side that communicates with the page, that act on the page. There are a custom template and a custom paragraph renderer that choose template to apply by your extension without using sub-templating. For example, when a page, when a node is called by the .html extension, we have the HTML output. With .xml, we have the XML contents of the node written in XML format, okay? And with the .sec extension, the output is the tree structure info for the nodes under the current page, okay, in XML format. We have a bypass flash mode, and with this mode we can use Magnolia in a standard way. We see the HTML page without the SWF render. And there are some custom tags, for example, to render the HTML page structure with the SWF address, SWF object, and this is sensible to the bypass flash mode. What does it mean? That if I'm in bypass flash mode, all this JavaScript is not included in the page. There is a tag to render the XML content file structure. And there is tag for render data values, for example, to deal with media, to deal with grids in the XML page contents. And there are some tags to inject information about the bars, the edit bars, the main bar, in the XML page content. I want to show you a sample of the communication flow between the client and the server. For example, if I consider this request, that is an internal page, okay, the HTML version of the page is rendered. In this HTML, we have the head tag with SWF address and SWF object JavaScript libraries, and the body that renders the current page content and navigation links. What does it mean? This means that if this page is accessed by a spider, for example, from a search engine spider, it can read the content of the page and index the content of the page. If a user with a standard browser, for example Firefox or Chrome or whatever, access this page, the SWF address optimizer script extracts from the URI extract path, extract the query string, extract the hash information, and send a request to the server via XML HTTP request, and evaluates the response. On the server side, we have a filter that intercepts this request coming from the script, and builds, basing on the path value, the query string value, and dash value, build the right redirect string in JavaScript format to return to the SWF optimizer script. For example, this is the the request sent by the SWF address optimizer script, where we can see that there is an SA parameter with the path value, okay? And the filter on the server side intercept the content type and send back this JavaScript string, which replace the position of the browser, send back to the home page with the path information after the hash, okay? And this path information after the hash is then managed by SWF address on the actionscript side that can understand which page you want to view, okay? Okay, the root page is rendered as any other page, but before the end of the body tag, there is this script that replaces the content of the page with the SWF application. When SWF movie is starting, it preloads the site tree. Okay, so the SWF application have the full website tree inside, and when the SWF address intercept that you want, looking at the after hash part of the URI, intercept that you want to open the page V7 Classic, it found it in the tree, and then make a request for the XML formatted contents. Okay, then the application will render the contents. The last step is that the SWF application calls using the external interface .call method, can call the JavaScript analytics function. Okay. How did we do the authoring support? In the XML content page, content file, comes information about the environment, about the current user, about the current user permission on current page, and there are the XML declaration for buttons. Okay, so we can see that there are buttons for the preview, for the admin central, and a button for the properties of the page. The application then renders the Magnolia green bars based on this XML, and binds the call that are on the as values of the attribute on click to a call via external interface .call that run the JavaScripts, the Magnolia JavaScripts, and open the dialogues and can interact with the contents. Which are the results? From the Piaggio point of view, they have a unique authoring platform for their website, both HTML websites and Flash websites. And for full Flash websites, the Flash front end is decoupled from CMS. Okay, we have templates that renders XML page structure, and if they want to change from Moto Guzzi to Vespa, they have to change the I don't know the image of the motorcycle. They can replace all from the dialogues. Okay. And they have a SEO-enabled site. They have a highly optimized platform to deliver contents on a cheap hardware and network infrastructure. The Tomcat that run this configuration never goes over 250 megabytes of occupied memory. And we are on time on the go live plan. From the Van Gogh creative point of view, they now have a powerful ActionScript framework integrated with a strong CMS platform. a front-end release process that is independent from the CMS release process, except for new templates. Okay, and they have the strong text solution to support their creativity. From our point of view, we have a new Magnolia module. We have a strong case history due to the Piaggio group name to open new ways on the market. We have a strong partnership with a sexy agency, and we achieve more efficiency on front-end delivery. Okay, let's see a little demo. Okay, this is the Moto Guzzi site. Every content of this site, the site structure, everything is managed by Magnolia, but this is a full-fledged site. Okay, nothing here is HTML. Okay, for example, we can see the Griso. Okay, we can change the color. We can see information about Moto. Okay, this for the front end from the public instance. And this is the authoring instance, where we have classic Magnolia interface. I can open my tree, open my page. And as for the classical templates and HTML sites, I can work on my site. Okay, so I know that if I click on a paragraph, I'm changing that content. Okay, this bar are in Flash. When I click a button, it makes the same call as the button in the HTML version. Okay, and opens the dialog. Okay, another example under the news. Okay, I can open the news. Okay, I have the green bars in the text. Okay, can click new, and there. My dialogues. Okay, there are some positions where we manage in a new way the dialogues. For example, here I have this custom button, okay, that calls the dialog and open the dialog. Okay, we have the preview. Everything works like a normal Magnolia managed site. Okay. And what about mobile? We know that Steve don't want Flash on iPhone and iPad. And we take this not as a limit, but a big opportunity for us and for Magnolia. We build a new module for Magnolia to manage mobile contents. But this is another story. Maybe Fabrizio tomorrow can show you something about the mobile module. Okay. Any question?
So you have one Flash movie that that shows one page, or do you also have individual Flash movies to match the individual paragraphs?
No, there is one Flash movie. It is free. Okay. In Moto Guzzi we have one main movie with some digital assets loaded by digital assets like images, FLV videos loaded. Okay, and you can load another SWF movie.
Okay.
Okay, it's not a problem. For example, I was thinking about this module. This is a faraway view, okay, but you can use it for as a level editor for a Flash game. Okay, it's not a problem. It's a Flash matter.
How much does so we have examples where we already have XML and Flash files, or Flash that use XML have all their contents in those XML files. Does your approach could use those XML and already done Flash files, or do you really have to have a different approach to code those SWF files and all your things, because you're not having your data in XML files and a folder structure like usually you do when you have?
What we did is, in terms of integration, is to define a protocol between Flash and Magnolia. Okay, so we can exchange every node content and the site structure. It's a matter of the Flash to manage also some other kind of XML or whatever. I understand.
So, if you have an agency doing the Flash, do they have to really know much about the infrastructure you're building there, or can they just go ahead and do their Flash like they would usually do their Flash, and you just like take it from there and
Yes, like I don't understand.
Well, contents you have the SWF file and the contents.
If I can integrate after the
way I know a lot of Flash, they have a Flash file, SWF, and a lot of the content is outside in XML files, text and all those other things.
Okay.
And then you have pictures in the folder structure.
Okay.
So if I have this, but would
you want
like
to
use this
in it.
To like not go into an XML file and change the text in an XML editor in the XML file, but use this
It's a matter of templating. Okay, because for the XML format of the contents of a node, okay, it's a template in JSP. Okay, the module does the module have some custom tags, okay, to help you rendering the contents with this protocol for the Van Gogh framework. Okay. It's more an idea than a real high-value module. Okay, that's not anything new in the module.
Maybe to clarify, so the workflow for a Flash developer, is it you give them a basic Flash file and then they do their coding in there, or do they hand you the Flash file and you do the modifications afterwards? Because you're saying like you're using a framework and things like that. So is there a small Flash file that has the basic implementation in it that you give them and they modify for transitions and things like that, or do they develop everything from scratch?
Well, I think that the model to interact with the web agency is that they have to use the framework, okay, and use the protocol that we realized. Yeah.
So you give them a basic Flash file first.
Sorry?
You give them like a base Flash file that they start off doing their work.
There is some ActionScript classes more than a basic Flash file.
Okay, so that my follow-up question would be, can you use it in Flex as well, or just Flash?
It's
Right.
compiled by Flex.
Oh, it's a Flex application
Yeah.
by itself. Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah. Either the module and the ActionScript framework.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So you have plans to open source
Yeah,
this?
I don't know the timing.
So on the one hand, the Magnolia module, so the Magnolia part, and the Van Gogh
Yeah.
framework.
Yeah.
Okay.
We make pressure to Van Gogh for that. Okay, thank you.